The icebreaker cuts effortlessly through the calm waters, its reinforced hull carrying the party farther into the frozen north. With clear skies above and a gentle sea beneath them, it is a rare moment of peace after everything they have endured. Below deck, the mood is far lighter than it has been in days. Gathered around a lantern-lit table, Savin, Bon, Gideon, Murdoch, and Osborne join the crew in sharing drinks and stories. Laughter echoes through the ship as sailors trade legends of Icewind Dale, speaking of ancient ruins, forgotten civilizations, and the mysterious island that awaits them. Some tales speak of treasure hidden beneath the ice. Others tell of monsters that have slumbered for centuries, or spirits that guard secrets best left untouched. Every sailor seems to have a different version of the story, but they all agree on one thing: few who travel there ever return unchanged. The companions listen carefully, exchanging glances as they weigh fact against superstition. Whatever lies ahead, they know their journey is leading them toward a place steeped in danger, mystery, and powerful magic. For now, though, they allow themselves a brief moment to relax. Tankards are raised, friendships grow stronger, and the warmth of the ship's cabin offers a welcome respite before the trials that await them on the frozen island. As the voyage continues, one mystery weighs heavily on the party's minds: the strange egg they recovered during their adventures. Seeking guidance, Murdoch kneels in solemn prayer, calling upon his divine power to reveal the truth hidden within the shell. Golden light surrounds him as his faith bridges the gap between the mortal world and the divine. The answer comes clearly. Inside the egg rests a silver dragon, and its time is drawing near. In only 9 days, the young dragon will hatch and enter the world. Murdoch asks one final question: where does this ancient creature wish to be born? The response is simple, yet mysterious: the open. The meaning is left open to interpretation. Perhaps an open field, an open sky, or somewhere far from walls and confinement. The revelation gives the party both hope and a new responsibility. Protecting the egg is no longer just another task. They now know they are safeguarding a future silver dragon, and with its hatching only days away, every decision they make could shape the life of one of the rarest and noblest creatures in all the realms. During the voyage, Savin finds a clever way to increase the value of the captain's payment without spending a single additional coin. Using his mastery of transmutation magic, he begins reshaping piles of ordinary gold coins into finely crafted treasures. Coins become elegant jewelry boxes adorned with gemstones, ornate bracelets and necklaces, and detailed golden statues depicting legendary sea captains. Though the amount of gold remains the same, the craftsmanship greatly increases their worth. Not content to stop there, Savin adds one final flourish. With carefully woven illusion magic, each piece appears even more magnificent than before, gleaming with an almost supernatural brilliance. Whether the enchantment truly adds value or simply impresses the eye hardly matters. First impressions often mean everything. When the work is complete, the collection has been transformed from a simple payment into what appears to be a priceless display of artistry. If the captain was expecting 10,000 gold pieces, Savin intends to make sure it looks like he's receiving even more. Sometimes, the greatest treasure isn't the gold itself, it's knowing how to present it. After receiving the revelation, Murdoch wastes no time. He rushes across the deck, calling everyone together with an urgency that immediately catches the party's attention. Once everyone has gathered around the mysterious egg, Murdoch explains what he learned during his prayers. The egg isn't some magical curiosity or a rare beast. It's a dragon. For a brief moment, silence fills the cabin as the weight of those words sinks in. The companions stare at the silver-scaled egg, realizing they have been carrying one of the rarest creatures in existence. Then Murdoch breaks the silence with complete sincerity. "We're going to be parents." The announcement catches everyone completely off guard. Bon looks stunned. Savin's eyes widen beneath his hood. Gideon can barely process what he just heard, and Osborne is left speechless. After everything they have survived together, none of them expected their next great adventure to involve raising a baby silver dragon. The room erupts with disbelief, excitement, and nervous laughter as the reality, begins to set in. In just 9 days, if they can keep the egg safe, their party will welcome its newest and perhaps most extraordinary member. With the treasures complete, Savin presents the captain with the promised payment. Instead of handing over a simple sack of gold coins, he offers a collection of finely crafted golden works of art, ornate jewelry boxes, elegant figurines, and masterfully sculpted statues. The captain carefully examines each piece, turning them over in her hands and admiring the remarkable craftsmanship. Every item appears to be the work of a master artisan, far more impressive than a pile of ordinary coins. She glances back at Savin with a curious expression. More? Savin simply shrugs. No. I just try to pretty it up the best I could. Whether she notices the subtle illusion magic woven into the collection or not, the effort clearly leaves an impression. Rather than seeing a routine payment, the captain sees respect, creativity, and genuine appreciation for their agreement. Savin's gamble pays off. By turning ordinary gold into extraordinary gifts, he earns something far more valuable than coin alone: the captain's favor and a stronger bond with the crew as their journey toward the frozen island continues. The voyage continues without incident, a welcome change after the dangers the party has already faced. Gentle winds fill the sails as the ship glides across calm waters beneath clear skies, carrying everyone steadily toward their destination. For the crew, it feels almost as though fate itself has smiled upon them. Whether it was simply good weather or the gods answering Murdoch's prayers, no storms rise to challenge them, and no monsters emerge from the depths. Beneath the waves, however, another world thrives unseen. Schools of fish weave through the ancient ruins of a forgotten civilization, while great sharks patrol the deep. Curious merfolk watch the vessel pass overhead from a safe distance, and even a massive octopus remains content to observe rather than attack. The sea is alive with wonders both beautiful and dangerous, yet on this journey, every creature leaves the travelers in peace. For a brief time, the party is able to enjoy something that has become increasingly rare in their adventures: a quiet, peaceful voyage before the frozen trials that await them on the Isle of Solstice. With their business concluded, the party departs the prison fortress and begins the next leg of their journey across the frozen wilderness. Dog sleds race over the snow as the towering fortress slowly disappears behind them, its cold stone walls fading into the distance. For most of the companions, it is simply another place left behind. For Savin, however, it is something more. Within those walls, he found an unexpected friendship, one forged under unusual circumstances and strengthened through mutual respect. Though their paths now diverge, the memories of that unlikely bond remain. As the sleds press onward through the icy landscape, the party's attention turns toward the challenges ahead. Somewhere beyond the frozen horizon lies the Isle of Solstice, where Aurel's influence grows stronger with every passing mile. The road ahead promises danger, but the companions leave carrying more than supplies and treasure. They leave with new allies, lasting memories, and one friendship that Savin hopes is not the end of a story. After days of travel across frozen seas and snow-covered wilderness, the party finally reaches the place they have come to think of as home. Nestled within the endless tundra, the fortified settlement stands as a beacon of warmth and civilization amid the unforgiving landscape. Smoke rises from its chimneys, the sounds of daily life echo beyond its walls, and for the first time in what feels like ages, the companions can lower their guard. Though none of them were born here, the town has become something far more meaningful than a place on a map. It is where they return to rest, recover, and prepare for whatever challenge awaits next. For now, their long journey has come to an end. They have survived prisons, crossed icy seas, uncovered the secret of a silver dragon's egg, and forged new friendships along the way. Home offers only a brief respite, but after everything they have endured, it is a welcome one. Soon enough, the call to adventure will come again. But today, the party simply enjoys the comfort of returning to the closest thing they have to home. After returning home, the party is welcomed by the Arcane Brotherhood, who recognize the extraordinary service the companions have provided to the people of Icewind Dale. Although they admit no amount of gold could truly repay what the party has accomplished, they offer something that could shape the future of the region. The companions are granted land and generous discounts on building materials, giving them the opportunity to establish something lasting of their own. The offer doesn't end there. The Brotherhood also explains that skilled craftsmen are looking for work. They promise to provide a list of available tradesmen and encourage the party to decide what buildings would best serve the growing town. Whether they choose workshops, homes, defenses, or places of learning, the decisions will help shape the settlement for years to come. Finally, the group's benefactor offers heartfelt thanks. Their courage, sacrifice, and determination have brought hope to the people during one of Icewind Dale's darkest times. More than rewards or recognition, the party has earned the trust of an entire community. For the first time, they are no longer simply wandering adventurers. They have become builders of a future, with the chance to leave a legacy that will endure long after their adventures are over. With the future of the settlement now in their hands, the companions gather to decide how best to invest the land and resources they have been granted. Savin chooses to strengthen the town's economy by constructing 2 large storehouses, ensuring that food, supplies, and trade goods can be safely stored through Icewind Dale's harsh winters. Bon Bon focuses on defense, commissioning a massive barracks capable of housing and training a growing militia, alongside a well-equipped armory to keep the town's protectors armed and ready. Gideon turns his attention to craftsmanship and sustainability. He establishes a workshop where skilled artisans can create tools and equipment, as well as a vast garden to provide fresh food and medicinal plants for the community. Velen invests in knowledge and magical advancement. She oversees the construction of a grand library, a sprawling garden, an arcane study for magical research, and a scriptorium where books and ancient knowledge can be copied and preserved for future generations. Murdoch ensures the town's heart remains strong by building a smithy to support craftsmen and adventurers alike, while also establishing a sanctuary where the people can find healing, guidance, and hope in difficult times. Osborne continues to advance the settlement's magical capabilities by founding his own arcane study alongside another workshop, encouraging both magical innovation and practical invention. Together, their choices transform the settlement into far more than a place to survive. It becomes a thriving community, one built on strength, knowledge, faith, commerce, and cooperation. For the first time, the party is no longer just changing the fate of Icewind Dale through their adventures. They are shaping its future, one building at a time. With plans set in motion, the town begins a remarkable transformation. Across the settlement, the sounds of hammers echo through the crisp mountain air as foundations are laid and scaffolding rises toward the sky. What was once a modest frontier town is rapidly becoming a thriving stronghold. The party watches with pride as towering castles and fortified structures take shape above the rooftops. Each new wall, tower, and gate stands as a symbol of hope, a promise that the people of Icewind Dale are building more than defenses. They are building a future. Tradesmen, stonemasons, blacksmiths, carpenters, and laborers arrive from across the realm, joining the local townsfolk in a common purpose. Massive blocks of stone are carefully carved into place, heavy timbers are raised into sturdy frames, and every worker contributes their skill to the growing community. The companions realize that their victories have inspired something greater than themselves. Their deeds have united craftsmen, merchants, and ordinary citizens, all working side by side to create a settlement capable of withstanding whatever hardships the frozen north may bring. For the first time in generations, the people of the Dale are not simply enduring the endless winter. They are building a future worth protecting. As construction spreads across the settlement, 3 of the party's greatest minds begin discussing something even more ambitious. Velen, Osborne, and Savin gather over maps and arcane plans, combining their knowledge of magic, architecture, and ancient lore. Their goal is not simply to build new structures, but to weave powerful enchantments into the very foundation of the growing town. To accomplish such an undertaking, however, they will need more magical energy than the 3 of them can provide alone. Osborne approaches Murdoch, Bon Bon, and Gideon with an unusual request. Would they be willing to lend their own magical power to the project? The answer comes without hesitation. Of course, Gideon smiles, adding that it will be good practice as well. With every member of the party contributing their unique gifts, the project becomes more than another construction effort. It becomes a collaboration unlike any the town has ever seen, where divine blessings, arcane mastery, and unwavering determination come together to create something extraordinary. The foundations being laid are not just of stone and timber. They are being infused with the combined strength of heroes who have already changed the fate of Icewind Dale and whose greatest achievement may still lie ahead. With construction underway and their plans for the future set in motion, the party finally allows themselves something they have not enjoyed in quite some time. A normal evening. Weapons are set aside. Armor is removed. For just a little while, the weight of responsibility gives way to laughter, warm meals, and good company gathered around a familiar table. As the fire crackles nearby, Velen, Osborne, and Savin continue refining their magical plans for the growing settlement. Arcane diagrams glow across the table as they discuss wards, enchantments, and ways to protect the town for generations to come. Bon Bon and Gideon relax with drinks in hand, enjoying a rare moment without battle or danger looming over them. Even Murdoch, ever vigilant, allows himself to unwind as he shares the evening with his companions. Outside, winter still grips Icewind Dale in its frozen embrace. Inside, however, the tavern is filled with warmth, friendship, and hope. It is a reminder of everything they have fought to protect. For tonight, there are no monsters to slay, no ancient evils to confront, and no impossible odds to overcome. There are only friends, a roaring fire, and the comforting feeling that, for the first time in a long while, everything is exactly as it should be. With the first shipments of stone arriving, the party wastes no time getting to work alongside the builders. Bon Bon and Gideon roll up their sleeves, carefully measuring and cutting massive stone blocks into perfectly shaped bricks. Though both are seasoned warriors, they quickly prove they are just as capable with a mason's hammer as they are with a sword. Nearby, Murdoch watches the growing stack of finished stone with a different idea. Rather than moving each block individually, he simply nods to himself. On it, he crouches beside the towering pallet, muscles tensing beneath his armor. With a tremendous heave, he lifts the entire stack of stone at once. The strain is so immense that his clothes tear apart under the pressure, leaving the builders staring in stunned silence. Ignoring the shocked expressions around him, Murdoch casually carries the enormous load across the construction site as though it were little more than a sack of grain. The workers erupt into cheers and laughter. What would have taken several laborers' hours to move is finished in moments, reminding everyone that even during peacetime, heroes have a habit of making impossible tasks look easy. Murdoch carefully sets the massive pallet of stone into place, as if carrying hundreds of pounds were the most natural thing in the world. Bon Bon and Gideon pause their work, watching in silent amazement. After a long moment, Murdoch simply scratches the back of his helmet. "Gotta go get another shirt," Murdoch mutters. Without another word, he strolls off toward town, completely unfazed that he had just torn his clothes apart lifting an entire pallet by himself. The two paladins watch him disappear before Bon Bon finally breaks the silence. Is that why he wears the armor? Gideon can only stare for another moment before quietly returning to shaping bricks, deciding that some questions are probably better left unanswered. Even on an ordinary day of construction, the party somehow manages to create another story the townsfolk will be laughing about for years to come. While the rest of the town focuses on construction, Savin, Osborne, and Velen prepare for a project unlike anything the settlement has ever seen. Gathered near the city's wooden defensive wall, the three mages review their plans one final time. Months of discussion, careful calculations, and magical theory have led to this moment. Velen glances toward the others. "Ready." Osborne nods confidently, while Savin silently channels arcane power into his outstretched hand. The earth begins to tremble. Ancient magic surges through the frozen ground as massive blocks of stone rise from beneath the snow. One by one, the stones lift into the air, sliding into place as if guided by invisible hands. Within moments, A sturdy section of defensive walls stands where there had been only open ground. The spell succeeds perfectly. Savin folds his arms with a quiet sense of satisfaction as Velen and Osborne examine the newly formed wall. Their experiment has proven that magic can dramatically speed the construction of the town's defenses. If they can continue at this pace, the settlement's wooden fortifications may soon be replaced with towering walls of solid stone, creating a fortress worthy of defending the people of Icewind Dale for generations to come. With Savin's success proving the concept, Osborne eagerly steps forward to put his own magic to the test. Arcane energy gathers around his hand as he channels powerful transmutation magic into the frozen earth. The ground rumbles once again, and another massive section of stone rises from beneath the snow. Larger blocks emerge this time, stacking themselves neatly into place beside Savin's newly formed wall. The defensive barrier grows longer and stronger with every spell, replacing vulnerable wooden fortifications with solid stone that could withstand far greater threats. Osborne steps back to admire his work, a grin spreading across his face. "Mine's bigger." Savin folds his arms, pretending not to be impressed, while Velen watches the two wizards with a knowing smile. Even while constructing the town's defenses, a little friendly rivalry is impossible to avoid. Still, beneath the light-hearted competition lies something remarkable. Working together, the three spellcasters are accomplishing in minutes what would normally take hundreds of laborers' weeks to build. With every section of wall they raise, the settlement grows stronger, and the dream of transforming the town into an impregnable fortress comes ever closer to becoming reality. With both Savin and Osborne having demonstrated their magic, Velen quietly steps forward to show why she is one of the most accomplished wizards in all of Icewind Dale. With a simple gesture, arcane power surges through the frozen earth. Not one, not two, but 4 massive sections of stone wall rise from the ground in rapid succession, each locking perfectly into place beside the last. In mere moments, an entire stretch of the settlement's defenses stands complete. Velen calmly admires the results before turning to the others. "It's going to take all day at this rate." Then, without another word, she walks away as if what she had just accomplished were completely routine. Savin and Osborne stand in stunned silence, staring at the newly completed walls. After a long pause, Savin scratches the back of his head. Damn. For all their talent and friendly competition, the two younger wizards have just been reminded that experience still has its advantages. The rivalry continues, but for today, Velen is the undisputed champion. After weeks of tireless effort, the settlement's first great construction projects finally come to an end. Where wooden defenses once stood, imposing stone walls now encircle East Haven, guarding its people against whatever dangers may emerge from the frozen wilderness. New workshops, sanctuaries, libraries, barracks, gardens, and storehouses stand completed, each one built through the combined efforts of skilled craftsmen, determined townsfolk, and the party itself. The settlement has been transformed. What was once a struggling frontier town has become a thriving bastion of hope in the heart of Icewind Dale. Families once fearful of the future now walk the streets with renewed confidence. Merchants reopen their businesses, children play within the safety of the walls, and the constant sounds of construction have given way to the steady rhythm of everyday life. For the first time in many months, East Haven feels secure. The companions pause to admire what they have accomplished together. Though countless adventures still lie ahead, they know they have left a lasting mark on the Dale. Their victories were not measured only by the monsters they defeated, but by the lives they protected and the future they helped build. No matter what challenges await beyond the horizon, the people of East Haven can now face them from behind strong walls, united as a community, with hope restored once again.